Hello and welcome to a special edition of Business Mentorship, Keepin It Real, where we are interviewing business owners from the first edition of our digital magazine launched on July 1st, entitled Celebrating Great Ideas, a collaboration of global entrepreneurs. Today, I'd like to introduce you to 4 business owners who have created the Goddess Revolution, who help soul-centered women break free from the cycle of overwork and rediscover the joy of living in alignment with their true selves. Kristi Sullivan, Jacqueline Kane, Evakarin, Wallin, and Natasha Sharma have joined forces as co-creators to serve a community of women through 4 core pillars of harmony and alignment. Let's find out how this group is helping others to connect with their inner goddess and embrace a life of balance, vitality, and purpose. It is my pleasure to welcome and introduce Kristi, Jacqueline, Evakarin, and Natasha. Welcome, ladies.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
I thought we would start by giving you an opportunity to not only share your name, but the city that you're from and the expertise that you bring to the group. And why don't we start with Natasha?
Oh, thank you. Thank you, Trish. So my name is Natasha Sharma. I go by NS Shakti. I live in Pune in India, and at the core of it, I'm a clinical hypnotherapist. So I work with the subconscious mind, and I bring that to our group by working with energy, and I write and channel the divine feminine and the goddess Kali very, very intimately. Thank you.
Perfect. Perfect. And Jacqueline?
I am Jacqueline Kane. I live in New Hartford, Connecticut, and I help people get to the root cause of their physical, emotional, and financial pain so that they can get back to living the life they desire and manifest all of their dreams.
Evakarin.
Yes, I'm Evakarin Wallin. I'm from Sweden, a town called Södertälje, which is pretty close to Stockholm. So I work with the expansion method, which is a simple process that bypasses the logical mind, the brain, and go directly into the subconscious and allow the subconscious mind of the person I'm working with to release the pattern, the stress, whatever is going on for them. So they can come back to themselves, feel more confident, feel stronger, feel more of who they truly are.
Perfect. And Kristi.
My name is Kristi Sullivan. I live in Connecticut, and I am a human design speaker, teacher, author, and human design is your energy blueprint. So I help people understand how they can go from understanding their design and using it in their business, in their relationships, in general life, to help them go from more ease, from overwhelm to more ease, and to go from overworking to overflowing.
Well, you ladies bring some awesome dynamics to this collaboration. Maybe I'm going to ask Evakarin, how did you all meet? Because, I mean, clearly you're coming from different areas of the globe. So how did you all come together to form this collaboration?
Well, we have this one lady that is an excellent connector, and her name is Kristi. So she met all of us, and she could see how the 4 of us could come together and bring something really, really powerful, because each one of us are powerful standing on our own feet, but together is even more powerful. So she had the vision, and she asked us to join, and we practiced with each other to get to know and learn from each other over quite a long time before we started to work together.
So Jacqueline, maybe you can fill us in terms of what was Evakarin has given us a great idea as to how you met, but maybe you can take that one step further and let us know why you decided to create the collaboration.
Well, first of all, we really love and honor each of our practices, and we knew the value of what we could offer women, and there's a lot of women struggling right now. And it was all really Kristi's idea. Hey, let's put this together and see what happens. And the women that have been signing up and meeting with us weekly, their lives are changing. So it's just a passion of ours to help more people go from feeling stuck to finally moving forward and really creating the life that they've always wanted.
Okay, Kristi, so you're clearly the mastermind behind this wonderful collaboration. So I have to ask you, what was the light bulb moment? What actually made you think that this was something that you wanted to form and then take that idea out to the world?
Well, I do love bringing people together and really being of service. And we've all been on our own journeys and really have become leaders to help others who are also going through similar things. Back when I, a few years ago, needed to really focus on my self-care and needed to learn about different modalities that I could use in my evolution and transformation, I was tuned into the power of all of these women that we individually work together. And I thought, you know what would be the power if we brought them together to not only for ourselves, and we did test it out through how does this feel for the four of us to be working together and going through these different modalities and transformations, and then bring it to people who also want a group to support them, to feel like-minded and to feel like they have a space that we actually co-create. And so it just came together really beautifully, partly because I did the experimentation of also knowing what these wonderful gifts that these ladies offer.
You know, Natasha, you're part of our board of directors, actually. So you're very familiar with the Share Your Stories platform and the people that we serve. So how would that directly connect with the four of you sharing the modalities? I mean, you've already said that you did a lot of test marketing and you took the time to actually learn the leadership skills that you all bring to the table. How has that actually affected your outlook and business in terms of this collaboration?
Oh my goodness. You really hit the right note about our collaboration, that we are a co-creative space because it's energy work, whether we're talking about conscious or subconscious. The energy work is expansive, and our space becomes a co-creative container. So as much as we come with our expertise for these women, as they transform, we transform. So it's kind of like this, it's amazing. I mean, if I, like you said, we've known each other for so many years and I'm part of the board, and you've seen from where to where I've come. And a lot of it is because I have this tribe of women. One of the most important things that women need is other women supporting them. There's no power greater than that.
That's
Rather
so
than
true.
having and it's just what you're all about, Trish, collaboration over competition. So if anything, the Goddess Revolution birthed because I learned that from you.
Ah, well, thank you. That's a wonderful way to co-create, isn't it? Now, I have to ask your core values, because one of the things that, you know, we shared in the magazine was the areas of specialty, not only that you bring together as leaders, but that you offer to the collaborative community that you've created. So Evakarin, maybe you could tell us, explain one of those core values, because it would appear that you have, if I'm not mistaken, you've got 4 really core values. So I'm going to ask each of you to explain one. So you have the opportunity to choose the one that you feel is most important to you and the discipline perhaps that you bring. Oh, I think you're on mute. Oh.
The strongest thing for me is to find peace within, because that is how we can create peace outside of us, first and foremost in our closest relationships, but in a longer term, peace on this planet, because that's why I'm here.
Ah, and you know, that you've mentioned something that I find really interesting, in that one of that is finding what your own area of expertise is. And that's a journey in itself, right? I mean, finding the reason why we're here doing what we're doing is also a journey that we can share with each other, right? So
100%.
I love the fact that yours is finding the peace and the connection to help other people find peace. Because if there's one thing that I've learned in sharing the stories that we've shared and bringing the people together that we do, we're all the same and yet different, right? We're all looking for those same fundamentals.
You say it the way I say it. I say exactly that. And that makes every person so interesting, and to hear their story,
Right.
and to have to see themselves in a different story.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And then sometimes that lens of us looking from a different perspective provides a different perspective, right? When somebody else can see some of the accomplishments that you've done and shine a light on it in a different way. So I love the peace and harmony. Who's not looking for that, for sure? Jacqueline, why don't you tell us a little bit about one of the other core values of your team?
I'd say it's what's your truth? How are you feeling today? How are you really feeling emotionally? And having the courage to speak up powerfully when you really want to say no, but you find yourself saying yes. And what is your truth? It's the most important thing. When we're standing on our truth, then we have a body and a health inside of us that we're pain-free, right? Because pain in the body knows that you're not living your truth. So standing in your truth, speaking up for yourself is one of our core values.
Natasha, what would be one of your other core values?
Taking 100% responsibility for yourself. So what we do is teach what you all have been touching on. It boils down to that there's no outside before the inside. So it's easy to get stuck in cycles of frustration or projection or anger, blaming this thing or that thing or blah, blah, blah. But it isn't. It's about how are you feeling today? It's what Evakarin touched on. It's what Jackie touched on. It's what you said, Trish, that we all want peace. But if we don't realize that it starts from here, with the self-responsibility, that even if it's like something in our environment, the first thing is, what did I do to contribute to that? You check that first before you say, oh, my husband, this, or my blah, 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 blah. So
that's so true. Yeah, that's so true. And Kristi, wrap up the core values that you have as a team, because you're all touching on things that as humans, we're all interested in, for sure.
Yeah, and I'll build off of that piece, the truth, the responsibility. I think just authentically showing up, and again, we co-create. So the being present, co-creating authentically. We hear from the women who've worked with us that, you know, meeting each other is one of the gifts. And also, as we work together, when somebody's sharing, it's usually very resonant to somebody else. And so it heals like multiple layers and addresses things that are going on for each of us in different ways and with different stories, but very real, authentic, and a healing space that's co-created.
So let's just shift gears for a minute, because now we've got a really good foundational element of what it is that you do, what you share, and how you expand the knowledge within your group. But what kind of marketing are you doing that creates a buzz about this biz? Because clearly, you know, we've got some great ideas here. We have some wonderful disciplines that you're bringing together. You've each got some really great ways of sharing that leadership with the group. But how do you market the group? So perhaps I'll ask Natasha, what is the marketing that you're doing to create a buzz about this biz?
So that's again the beauty of the collaboration, right? Because it's the four of us, we have four different groups and four networks, and we tap into that. And our marketing, we don't have a marketing plan as such. It's a word of mouth that happens through the energetic of the transformation that has happened through previous participants. In fact, coming on to share your stories and being part of the sponsor for the grant program, why we're here today, that this is our first out in the world marketing initiative. But again, the energy of your project, why we chose that and not something else, is because it reflects our values of collaboration, of supporting others, other entrepreneurs, those who will apply for the grant program. and win.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, absolutely. Well, thank you. We're very blessed to have had, you choose our platform to bring your message out to the world. So we're very blessed and honored that we're helping you spread the word about what it is that you're doing. Jackie, I'm
Thank
going to
you.
ask you, who's your ideal client? I mean, yes, we know that, we're all women, we're all humans. You've mentioned that you've got 4 different networks, but ultimately we also try to focus on an ideal client. Perhaps you can tell us, who would you describe as your ideal client?
So we mostly work with women. I think at some point we'd love to take men, but it's mostly women right now who may be feeling stuck. They're probably between the ages of 40 to 60 and above. And they're feeling stuck either in their business, in their marriage, and they just don't know where to go. They don't know how they ended up here. Or the person who just wants a little bit more. She's entering towards retirement, and she wants something more. She wants to make sure that she has enough in her retirement to live her lifestyle. They may be realtors or holistic practitioners or people in finance. Anybody who wants to really understand themselves a little bit more authentically and live a more authentic life.
Evakarin, I'm going to ask you, because we've mentioned that the way in which your collaboration has grown to this point is through personal referrals and introductions and saying, we have this wonderful group. Would you be interested in joining us? How have you found the reaction when you've gone out to the folks in your own community in order to introduce them to the Goddess Revolution?
Curiosity and hesitant. And I believe that is the reason, because in the internet era, so much has changed. There have been so many promises that has not been fulfilled. So there has been built a hesitation. Sounds good, but how can I trust you? So that is what I sense.
And Jacqueline, I'm assuming that you get together online, because clearly one of the wonderful things that's come out of the last few years of business is that we have these awesome platforms where we can, meet connectively from all over the world. So what's the platform that you traditionally use for your individual meetings and get-togethers?
Usually we just use Zoom. As long as Zoom is working and everybody can get on and everybody's internet is working.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
And do you meet once a month, once a week, once a quarter? What's the frequency of your get-togethers?
So we have a 6-month program and we meet weekly.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
for accountability, because things happen.
Right.
We all have a really strong inner saboteur who takes us off course. So we work with that and we help you get back on track.
So I love what you ladies are doing. I really appreciate the deliverables that you're offering to the collaboration that you've created in the community that you're building. But as to end our conversation today, I'd like to ask each of you to share a word of advice. One of the things that we do on our guest blog is we ask all the entrepreneurs to share 3 words of advice. So they get an extra bonus because there's 4 of you. So I'm going to ask each of you to share 1 word of advice for our viewing and listening audience that sort of wraps up or summarizes the feeling and the connection that you have to the Goddess Revolution. And why don't we start with Natasha?
breathe.
That's a really important one, right? Yeah. And I'm sure it's something that you teach and talk about in your meetings for sure. Jacqueline?
Believe it's possible.
Love that. Evakarin?
Don't believe your thoughts, because if you feel discomfort about connected to these thoughts, it's a lie. It's not you.
And Kristi?
Inner guidance. And I say that because it's so important as we do our work together, but also for those listening to this and discovering what we're doing. There's an inner guidance that probably brought them to hear this interview, and we'd love to connect because of that inner guidance.
For sure. Well, I'd like to, on behalf of our viewing and listening audience, thank each and every one of you for not only starting the Goddess Revolution, but for bringing your own brand of magic to the collaboration so that you can help people really across the globe who are interested in the offerings that you're making, make the connections and find and deliver their best life. So thank you so much for joining us today and sharing all the really wonderful things that you do.
Thank you.
Thank you.
To you, our viewing and listening audience, I'd like to thank you for joining us today for this edition of Keeping It Real, introducing you to the people behind the logo. If you'd like to connect with our guests, you're going to find their contact information in the description portion below. I'm Trish Tonai, author, artist, and the founder and host for the series. And we invite you to visit our website, shareyourstories.online, and download the magazine and subscribe to our channel, Business Mentorship, Keeping It Real. Thank you for joining us for this special edition of Keeping It Real, and we look forward to meeting you next time when we share another great idea.